Want to really go. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Christian Girlies Chat with Keller. Today I'm with my friend Gucci.
Yay!
It's so good to have you here, Gucci.
So good to be here.
Okay, Gucci has been my friend since like 19 Kokoro.
I think it's childhood, but continue. Go on. Go on.
Well, she's such a sweetheart. So today we'll be talking about faith and relationships, like relationships in general, not just romantic relationships. You get?
Sounds
So
interesting.
we're talking about how to put, our faith, our spirituality in the center of everything that we do, both in how we relate with people, how we put it in our relationships with different people, whether our friendships, whether our co-workers, whether our romantic relationship. I think we should start from the basics, right? Do you think your faith is important enough for you to make it the center of your relationships? Like whether friendships or see, we have some friendships that you cannot even say that you're a child of God because you want to feel among, you want to feel like a big girl, and mentioning God might just make you feel uncool. Growing up, we used to think that that's just for teenagers, but my dear, that's a lie. Even adults, grown up adults like us. And sometimes whereby you are feeling like, oh, if I talk about God too much, I'll feel like I'm a cake or I'm not cool. So do you think your faith is important enough for you to be at the center of your relationships? Like letting people know that this is who you are and you are actually God's daughter.
Okay, so first of all, I'm going to reference the Bible part which says, do not be unequally yoked. So that unequally yoked does not necessarily have to do with unbelievers. There are so many believers that are not on the same level as you are. So I think first of all, you have to find people who are like-minded, people who see things the way you see, people who believe the way you, people have who have your level of belief. Because if you have like-minded people, then there's no way you'll be struggling to express yourself or express your faith or whatever. But then when you are in settings where you don't have people who believe in the way you also do, then I think that's where there's going to be problems. So first of all, it has to start with where you are, who you mingle with, your environment. Environment is actually very, very important because you cannot be in contradicting environments. So if you want to thrive in something, you have to be where supports what you want to thrive in. So I just believe that you have to be amongst people who see things the way you do.
Okay, so but then there are moments whereby you just find yourself in an environment where you're not really with your Christian faith people, and you didn't do that intentionally. It just happens to happen.
Like what?
So what happens then? Do you hide who you are? Do you hide your identity as a Christian?
Let your light so shine. So when you find yourself in those kind of situations, stand out. You do not have to bend for them, or you don't have to be that for them. If anything, you should be the one influencing them. Darkness should not influence light. Light should influence darkness. Light should influence darkness. So, and light does not hide. So wherever you are, even if some people will be like, oh, you are doing too much, that's your business. I'm doing too much, I'm not doing it for you. I know why I am doing it, and what I am doing, as in the person God who I am doing it for sees it and it's okay with it. So I mean, whatever you have to say, it's on you, bro. It's on you, bro.
I spoke about this, just I know that there are a lot of what they call them now, Alpha. Gen Alpha.
Okay.
Generation Alpha. Generation Alpha. A lot of Generation Alpha will be watching this, and I just wanted them to get a perspective of how to still retain their identity even when they are with their friends that may not necessarily be the examples of Christians, how to still be a daughter of God in the midst of those kind of people. So another thing I want us to talk about is how to handle disagreement and conflict that reflects the love of Christ.
Okay, so what works for, not most time, but what I do.
First of all, I mean, I think we should just be like vulnerable and honest in this video.
Yes, not most
I
times
know
because
that
we are
I know that
humans.
sometimes
No,
sometimes you're
seriously.
even forgotten the love of Christ. You just want to give the person as
Yeah.
it is. But I mean, we're all growing, and we know that we know that our Christian work can be hectic. Like we
Yeah. I
just
mean,
have
we are
to. It's by
humans.
God's grace that we are,
Yes.
But then, how do you think we can, help ourselves to reflect the love of Christ, even in disagreements with our friends and stuff?
Okay, so I mean, being truthful, we are all humans.
Yeah.
In as much as we want to be perfect in Christ, we are still human. There's still that flesh that Christ is still dying for, that are still killing here. But most of the time, there's this strategy I use, which has worked sometimes. And other times, we shall thank God, is Galatians 5, the part that speaks about love. Love is kind, love is patient, love is everything that they said love is in that verse. So when you find yourself in a conflicting situation, remind yourself, because Christ called us to love. I mean, we are supposed to live like Christ. And when you think of how Christ was on earth, he loved even those who persecuted him, those who spat at him, those who insult. I mean, his time on earth was filled with conflict. Different people were always fighting him, always attacking him, and he loved them regardless. So when you think about that and you say you want to be Christ-like, you have to know that to be Christ-like is to be love. And what is love? Love is kind. Love is patient. So I mean, there are some situations where, and I know that yes, what this person did to me was terrible, and you don't know how you want to just hold it in, but we just have to. It's not entirely easy, seeing as we are human. But I mean, we just have to remind ourselves that okay, we are supposed to always walk in love. Always walk in love.
Okay, so like practically now, so you're saying that even when we are in conflict with someone, that it should always be at the front of our minds that we have the mind of Christ. We have the mind of Christ, and if we have the mind of Christ, Christ loves everyone,
Yeah.
both the sinners and the
And the
non-sinners.
yeah.
So even at those moments where we are preaching, as Christians, love should come first.
Yes, I want to add
What will
something.
Christ do?
Yeah, exactly. What would Jesus? There's this video I want to do now. This is what would Jesus do. I'm going to talk about it, but that's. I want to add something. Please, if there's a need to clear somebody, clear them. So don't be saying I'm working in love, then you're now swallowing, because there's a difference between working in love and swallowing nonsense. Because if you continue to swallow all the nonsense to work on you, Jesus literally cleared the temple.
Wait, people don't listen to this one.
Clear them. Because seriously, if you are, I mean, work in love, you can correct in love.
Yes.
So it doesn't mean that when you want to clear them, you come and be saying
She knows she should go and break
gingering
what's
them.
on there.
No, you do it with love. You don't like you can't be and you know who I am. Please, we don't know who you are. That's what do it with love.
Okay,
I mean,
so when you need to pour out your mind or what is making you a particular way,
pour it out.
you can tell them that okay, this is how I feel about this.
Communication.
Yes, communication,
Do
right?
it.
So it's not necessarily in a violent way, but letting them know that okay, this is exactly how I feel about this. Even if, like, I know, even if as Christians, you know that okay, you should. It actually helps with not holding grudges
exactly, because you are holding it
against people.
in.
Yeah.
You yourself, you're not feel alright, so just let it out.
Yes.
Most of the time, let it out.
In order not to hold grudges against that person, you can just let it out and let the person know.
Yeah.
You don't have to shout and quote or be violent. Sometimes you cannot help but shout. But you don't have to be
Depends.
violent. Just be
Exactly.
like, let the mind of Christ not leave you, basically. Right?
Basically, yes.
Let the mind of
Just
Christ
correct with
not
love.
leave you. Okay, so talking about friendships, let's talk about vulnerabilities and boundaries. So how do you find the courage to open up to people, like to be vulnerable, especially with your Christian community? Because this channel is mostly about sisterhood, faith lifestyle, how to do life with people, girls and everything. So how do you find the courage to be vulnerable with Christian sisterhood?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. Normally, I'm not a vulnerable person, and I'm not proud about it. I don't take pride in it because I mean I struggle to share, and I struggle to share stuff with people, but it can be burdening because you cannot carry the weight of everything you are going through by yourself. That's why you have sisters, that's why you have friends, that's why you have a community. God strategically placed them in your life. So I mean, I think how I have been doing it in recent times, even though I'm not there yet, how I've been doing it in recent times. I first talk to myself. Do you want help? Do you not want help? Like, I mean, that I have conversations with myself because to get some kind of things, you actually need to be vulnerable. To have bond with people, you need to be vulnerable. You need to know, like, okay, well, yes, you need help in this place. I need help in this place. We need to bond this way, whether it's in relationship, whether it's in prayer. I need you to pray for me, especially pray for me on this. That's the ways we vulnerable, but you don't know. Just share your prayer point with your friends. They will just sit and they'll understand, okay, yes, so this girl needs this kind of help here. So I do that through prayer points, and then I speak with my friends, not all of them, just so,
I know the two.
just so. I'm serious,
part of
and it's
the
not
two.
all the time. So I mean, I'm trying. Rest. I'm trying. I'm getting there. I mean, vulnerability is not like a strong forte, but I'm trying my best with God.
Okay, so like, how do you protect your heart in the process? Because is it that maybe at the point of when you are trying to be vulnerable, you just be vulnerable, like you trust your friends enough to give them the 100% vulnerability, or you still have like an aspect
I
of
think
your heart
you
that
are
you're
trying to
protecting?
bring out information from my mouth. I will tell you. So, in order to protect my heart, like you say, sometimes it's not all situations where I say everything that is doing me like verbatim. I would, of course, remove some things and just tell you what I think you should know. You don't have to know like everything. And yes, this wall stuff. There's this wall of Jericho that is, I mean, that we've just built as a form of protection from, I mean, probably hurt. So there are so many things that might have triggered you building a wall around your heart, preventing you from speaking with people. So maybe hurt from past friends or disappointment. So to prevent myself from experiencing it, I do not just say everything
Would you think that's
that is
healthy?
worrying me.
You think that's healthy?
I mean, I feel like they say a problem half shared is a problem half solved, right?
Yes.
I'll share half of the problem.
So when because you shared you only saw half.
Okay.
So this is what I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think you should talk to everyone,
Yeah.
but I think there should be like a circle of people.
Well,
It doesn't have to be like a large circle, but it can even be a small circle. I feel like there's just this circle of people that you should trust enough to be
yeah.
able to be completely vulnerable with. And this is because there are some times that we are going through, a lot of stuff that even if there's no solution, just telling someone make you feel all right. I mean, just telling people and them just, you talked about prayer,
Yeah.
them just holding your hands and praying, even when there's distance, like just opening on a call and praying with you goes a long way. Even when there's no solution, the fact that you have people that you can share with,
Yeah.
people that can walk with you in a journey with, like it also helps us from depression. Yeah, sometimes you just be in your room. Nothing is like the thing that is doing you to you is big, oh. But if you share with somebody, the person will look like that.
And then is that it?
Is that,
Is that it?
so that's why it helps. Like just so I'm saying it out there to everyone, every lady watching us out there, like just have a group of people that you trust. Don't talk to everybody. Don't
That's your-
talk to everybody.
know
Oh.
who you are trusting, no, because that's also
Yeah.
you might see this person to you. She's your friend, but you are not her friend. So I just feel like
Yeah.
you should
So
mind who you are being friends with.
have trusted friends that you can share with and you can talk to, right?
Yeah.
So where do you draw the line between being gracious and being taken advantage of? In the sense of that, when they say that, oh, the fruit of the spirit is love, kindness, faithfulness. I feel like I was in that space once in my life whereby in the bid of being kind, I was now becoming like a people's pleaser.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to just be pleasing everyone. Even when people stepped on me, I wouldn't, talk because I wanted to be kind. But I realized that that's not being kind. Kindness does not mean being stupid. So where do you draw the line between being gracious and being taken advantage of? I don't know if I should be asking you this question because we're going to say change it for them.
Okay, so niceness is not a fruit of the spirit, but kindness is a fruit of the spirit. It's not everything that you would just swallow. Some things that you should, let out, let them see it. When I say let them see it, but there's some people that are actually scared of confrontations. I don't like confrontations. Yeah, like so instead of facing this issue head on, they'll just swallow it. And with the way you are swallowing everything, it's giving the other person or other people the power to, ride on you. So, first of all, it's the foundation you lay that will determine how strong your house would be. And if you, let's say at the beginning of the friendship or at the beginning of any relationship, you begin as someone who is easy to take anything, when later you finally want to not change it, it will be hard because they've already seen you as it's kind of a person who is too kind or too good, too
You
nice.
can take anything.
You can take anything. And I feel like, yeah, you should have boundaries.
So
You should
I think
set
now I want
boundaries.
to. How do we set boundaries? Okay, can I answer? Can I try to answer
Yeah.
it first? So because of the conversation, what you're trying to say about setting boundaries, I feel like one of the ways that we can set boundaries is by, like, even if we are all Christians, which we all are, I like what you were trying to do, telling us that niceness and kindness are not the same thing,
Yeah.
right? Kindness is, being kind to people because you have the mind of Christ. And then when you are kind to them, you don't necessarily expect kindness in
In
return,
return, yeah.
but you are doing it because you love people genuinely as Christ loves the church. So how then do we now, like, set boundaries when it comes to these things, right? And then when we're talking about setting boundaries now, setting boundaries in a way that honors our faith and also honors the person's dignity.
Wow.
So enough for you. So
Wow.
now this is it. You don't want people to take advantage of you,
Yeah.
and you still want to love people and be kind to them. At the same time, you don't want to be a footmat that everybody can
Can
step on,
yes.
right? And you don't want to do it in a way that does not please the Lord.
So many things involved. So many things involved, literally.
So you're trying to find balance here.
Yeah.
So for me, I think how I was able to manage, boundaries. Like I told you before, I was so much of a people pleaser. I thank God that the way I was able to, come out of that,
Yeah.
and make sure that people do not take advantage of me was that, when sometimes you're a Christian, but you actually need to know what the Word of God says about you. In the sense of that, these things, they are so much related with identity. Do you know who you are? Okay, so what is that thing making you find, like, wanting to please people? There should be something. Is it that you are craving acceptance?
Yeah.
Maybe you are feeling insecure in yourself, and you just want people to like you. Do you get? So I feel like if you actually know who you are in Christ, who God has called you to be,
Yeah.
who you are, right? It's kind of like it elevates your mind to know that you don't have to necessarily be nice to show the love of Christ, but you can be kind.
Yeah.
So what is the difference between kindness and niceness? Kindness is, showing love regardless, whether people like you or not. Do what you have
Kindness,
to do, and you know that you are representing Christ.
Like just many, yeah.
Yes. But I feel like niceness is when you do something and you want something in return. That's when you do something and then you want people to like you in return. That's why people take advantage of people, because they feel like, oh, this person is trying to look for my approval, so I can easily just do this and this person won't say anything.
Yeah.
And I don't think,
or you're trying to just please people. Let them like you. Why do they have to
Like in
like you?
2025.
Why do they have to like you, bro?
And I guess this video will be out by 2025, of
Yeah.
course. In 2025, don't be a people pleaser, dear Christian lady.
It's not cute.
It's not cute. Like, it's actually not cute.
It doesn't look good on you. Stop it.
It is not cute. So, like, don't allow people take advantage of you. Don't allow people take advantage of your Christianity. You can be a firm Christian lady.
Yeah.
You can be a Christian lady who knows what she's doing part-time. There are times whereby you are confused. Yes, it's a normal human thing.
Yeah.
But you don't have to want to please people to be a faithful Christian lady. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about is in cases where you find yourself in company that is not really aligning with your Christian faith. How do you respectfully take a step back?
Back as out.
Like maybe like in your workplace now, yes, now in your, you know, like when you're in your workplace, you don't necessarily meet Christians there.
Yeah.
So how do you like, you're friends but you're not friends?
Keep strategic boundaries, because there's a way you are always in their face and then it begins to irritate them. So I feel like in cases like that, be strategic, respect their boundaries. See, the fruit of the spirit, let it be activated you. My pastor said your life is a sermon. So I mean, you do not have to be you don't have to be all in their face. Fruit of the spirit, love, joy, peace, faithfulness. Just let every fruit of the spirit be like evident in you, and then people will see you. When people see you and they know that this girl, she's different. As in, your life is already like preaching, because you do not have to. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, that there can be contradicting situations where, let's say, you're in, I don't want to call any religion or whatever. Let's say you're faced with some other people's share. I feel like, in as much as we want to win souls, we don't want to chase them away too.
Yeah.
So we just have to like be strategic with doing it. I mean, there's some kind of conversations you will have, some kind of questions you will ask, and the response they give to you, then you don't have to like give them a response immediately. You can make it topic of discussion another day, like maybe another week self, when you like, pray about come on, pray, oh Jesus. That prayer thing is actually very, very important. Pray, send the angel, let Holy Spirit work on their heart, so that when you two, you are, but so that when you two are in their this thing, they'll be like, okay, those people can just be touching them small, that kind of stuff.
So wait, are you saying instead of taking a step back, you can actually find ways of winning them to Christ?
Don't take a step back. Not yet. I say strategically respect boundary. You're not in their face, but in their face.
Okay, I think she's saying that. I mean, that's why Christ sent us into the world.
Yes.
Right? So it's not the normal traditional way of where you carry big Bible.
Yeah,
you wear long skirts.
You will go to hell.
No, it's not. We're not talking about doing that traditional.
And please don't be judgmental.
Yeah.
I feel like many people have tagged Christians to be judgmental. Like, someone will pass now with one kind of clothes. You don't have to say until your eye has said 1 million things. I feel like you should not be judgmental. See that love thing, it just accepts people. And when there's a way you treat people, when you come to talk to them about whatever, they will listen to you. Help, like, let your character do most of the speaking, because you can be preaching to me, and then in the office now they find trouble. Like any small thing, any small drama, your name is somehow mentioned in it. So I just feel like, let your character speak for you.
Yes. So,
actions speak louder. Yeah.
So we are not saying that your character is the one preaching the gospel. In some cases, yes, but we know that in some cases you actually have to preach the gospel.
Yeah.
But we are saying to water the ground, because you cannot have a bad character and go and preach Christ. Nobody will listen to you.
I will not answer you.
So we are saying that involve God in everything, even in your work relationships.
Yeah.
Right? In your friendships, work relationship, whatever kind of relationship. If God is part of you, God is part of your lifestyle, it will be easy to present Christ to anyone,
Yeah.
right? So instead of taking a step back,
Don't step back.
advertise the God that you're serving.
Exactly.
And how do you advertise?
Yes.
How can you advertise him? Through your life.
Your life. It's that easy. It might be hard for you, but it's very, very easy.
Yes.
It's that easy. Just do what the Bible says. Let the fruit of the Spirit be in you.
Yes.
And I mean,
yes, if the Spirit of God is in you, then the fruit of the Spirit will show.
yes, it will show.
Because it's what you have inside of you that you will bring out.
You cannot give what you don't have. So,
Yeah.
to show.
Yeah. I think we can end the conversation here. Thank you so much, guys, for watching till the end.
Yay.
Please subscribe if you have not.
That now.
Click the link. Just
See,
tap.
if you don't subscribe, my angels will come after you. This is not a choice, so please subscribe. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.